America sama wara podam mara bange to program hori habelan terinavis then meaduge program ga arming naiko me badal kolani moldi kyage faraton Dr. Devin Prabhakaran adi medical director Ishaq Shafiq then hamagama samoldi kya ki raja TV wara ratte me clinic එක ගොතු ගන්නේ තම වර කින ෆාරල් මන අඩුවේ පයිවේ දැන් හම me වරක් තෆාත් ડોක්ටර් උඹ සාමි කොළ වඩන්න වාහකෙන් එත දැන් ડોක්ටර් දෙවෙන් ප්‍රභාකර් me ෆාහ කරවෙනි ලෝකයේ ખાસ ડોක්ටර් එක ගොතු ගත දැන් කොමස් වරක me clinic උන්දේ හිටමතක ආදී me ડોක්ටර් දෙවෙන් ප්‍රභාකරන් ගේ හිටමතක වාහක
Dr. Devin Prabhakaran ki armege eye doctor ophthalmologist and vara popular de armenak kom har detinga har vijum masake korwata arme muli country muli gaumuga adi camp wa adi ham arme clinic yes bela masake korwata detinga har veda so good morning Dr. Devin would you like to tell us about your experience in this country?
Yeah, it has been a wonderful journey so far. I've been coming to Maldicare since the last 2 years, and we have seen more than 2,000 patients over more than 10-12 islands. So it's a different perspective when we come over to Maldives and then see the patients rather than I see my patients in Divya Prabhai Hospital in Trivandrum.
Yes.
The main difference in my treating patients after I've come here is because now I realize why some of these diseases are common in Malé or in the islands. So if you take the difference between Malé and the islands are not as much paved as Malé, and because of the hot sun and the sun reflecting on the white, beautiful sandy beaches of Malé Islands, all this light is falling in the eye, and obviously the eye has got more problems among Maldivians than in other countries. So we really require very good eye care in Maldives.
So you are award-winning doctor from India, your best doctor award from India, Trivandrum, and so you must be quite popular there as well. So would you like to tell us how any advice for Maldivians from birth to old age? What do they need to do there with their eyes? I mean, I'm asking if the child is born, does the child need to go and do screening?
Basically, as a doctor, you said I was awarded the best doctor award by the government of Kerala, but that was for eye care, eye awareness activities like what we are doing here now. It is now we classify eye problems into two. One, if you don't treat it immediately, the person goes blind. The second type, if you wait for some time, doesn't matter.
So squint is quite common in children,
A squint is when both eyes do not look straight, one eye looks to the side. The importance of treating squint is that it has to be treated before 8 years of age. The cutoff is because it is till 8 years that both eyes are able to work together. After 8 years, even if you do the surgery and make the eye straight, they do not work together. Just like both your legs work together smoothly.
So you have seen more than 2,000 patients in this country. And what's your experience? What have you seen? What are the most common ones which you see, unfortunately?
The most common problem would be pterygium.
You're talking about the one with the,
the red color that comes as a muscle outside the eye. The reason pterygium is more common in Malé is because of the increased sunlight exposure. So what happens is when we are walking in the beach or in the hot sunlight, the sunlight hits the eye, and then the eye, the cornea, it acts as a transmitter, and all the light gets focused in the middle part of the eye, and that place gets changed, and then a conjunctiva, the red thing, starts growing on top of the cornea. So how you can prevent it is very simple. We avoid sunlight entering the eyes. So how can you do that? Very simple. Wear a hat when you go out in the bright light. Wear a hat so that whatever is coming from the top is cut out. Wear a nice sunglass. So when you wear a nice sunglass, that also prevents the direct sunlight from hitting the eye.
So you're saying even if you don't have problems, you better be careful with your eyes. So you need to protect yourself.
Especially
and
between...
you need to show to the doctor as well,
Yes.
even if you don't have problems.
Yes. Especially between 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. If you need to go out in the sunlight, wear a sun hat and a glass. And like Dr. Isaac was rightly pointing it out, the time you go and see an eye doctor is not when you lose vision, it is when you have very good vision.
All right.
Just to give you a small example, if you have got a scooter or a car, no, we go take it to the workshop once in 6 months, put oil, change.
You maintain your
Yeah, you
scooter.
maintain, you put your air,
Yes,
check everything is fine. You don't wait for it to break down in the road.
True.
Just like that, if you are seeing very well, very good.
Yeah.
So you see a doctor once a year if you are more than 60.
Yeah.
If you are between 40 and 60, once in 3 years.
Okay. So what about sadly if you lose your vision or you start having eye problem, do you have chance of regaining your eye
Right.
normal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, first, if you at all, if unfortunately you are approaching the doctor after you have lost vision, the doctor would do a detailed checkup which is available with us in Maldi Care. All the detailed checkups we'll be doing. And once we do the check, then we come to the conclusion whether it is a treatable one
Yes.
or a non-treatable one.
So that's why we give holistic care and the Maldi care,
Yes.
so that we refer cases to you.
Right.
If the doctor feels, after screening, or if the doctor feels that the patient needs to be shown to Dr. Tabin, so that
Right.
we send him to you. And so you come from Mali to your hospital in India,
Right.
which is like you're giving a very close care to the patient from the illness which you can treat here as well as from India, your hospital. So what about other problems like diabetes and eye problem?
Diabetes is one of the most common causes for defective vision or the chance of losing vision in your lifetime.
Yeah.
So all diabetic patients, irrespective of whether they have good vision or bad vision, they need to see the doctor once a year. So first checkup once a year. If everything is normal, they need to see again only after 1 year.
Okay.
But if at that visit doctor says that there is retinopathy or there is some small problem that is there, then the next visit would be scheduled at 2 or 3 months depending upon the...
Yes, all right. So what about the watery eyes of children? Do you see children with watery eyes and itchy eyes?
Last time I had taken a awareness class for the students in Naifuru Island.
Okay.
I believe there were around 150 students.
Yes.
They were put like segregated, boys one side and girls one side. Then I said, all boys, please raise your hand, those who have watering and itching eyes. 90% of the hands went up.
All right.
Then I said the same thing to the girls.
Okay.
Whoever has got watery eyes, please raise your hands, and some 20% went up. Then the boys were saying, no, the girls are lying.
I see.
No, it was not the boys and the girls who are lying. It is that the boys go out, they
More
play
often.
football,
Yes.
they are out in
They
the
spend more time in
sunlight,
the
so
sun,
they are
yeah.
exposed to dust much more.
Okay.
And would you believe it, 90% of the children are allergic among boys in islands.
All
90%.
So what advice
very
can you
common.
give regarding foods like
Yeah.
vegetables,
So,
fruits and all?
The allergy is mainly because of the dust.
Okay.
So we can take it in two methods. One, we stop the dust in the environment. Two, if we cannot stop dust in the environment, we try to prevent it from falling into the eye.
Okay.
So for the first step, that is where the government, Maldi Care and all the NGOs come into the picture. We need to make sure that the dust in the roads and where children play is less. So we can put
Okay.
pavements on the road,
Yes.
make
So
it clean.
can I ask you, people like me who wear spectacles, do I need to see doctors despite I wear spectacles, and how often I need to see the doctor?
The recommended schedule for eye checkup,
Yeah.
the first checkup for every child is at birth.
Okay.
If that is normal, then the next checkup if before he joins school at 4 to 5 years of age.
Yes.
If at that time too everything is fine,
Yeah.
then maybe between 10 and 15 years,
Yes.
and then at 38 to 40, when the chance of developing cataract glaucoma is there.
Yeah. All right.
Beyond 40, it is once in 3 years till you are 60.
Yeah.
And from 60, it is once a year throughout the life.
Moldicare covers home visit as well, mainly old age bedridden patients and sometimes disabled children as well. So what's your experience regarding that? Have you done a home visit and how did it affect your practice?
Yes, I understand that home visits are very difficult to do. Given now everybody would know the constraints of doing a house visit, the transport, the translation if it's an international doctor, then reaching the house, then getting the equipments there. Fortunately for us, we have a portable ophthalmology unit which we take from island to island. And I had done home visits for all the bedridden patients in Naifuru. That was last year. And actually it gave me a lot of emotional satisfaction that this is something that I could do.
So you felt very personal about it.
It was a
very good experience.
It was because
you could reach their homes.
Otherwise, that patient would not have been seen by an eye doctor.
Okay.
And fortunately for us, the issue was not a major one.
Yeah.
It was just that he was having watering and drying in the eyes, which could be relieved with eye drops.
Oh, simple issues.
Simple issue. So I went there, I checked his vision, I put dilating drops, I checked his nerve. Then we have got a portable tonometer.
Yes.
So we checked his eye pressure and everything was fine. So I just gave him some medicine and then review advice, and I'm happy he's doing quite well now.
All right. So he's very happy with you now. Okay. So what about hypertension and eye problems? We have, I'm sorry to say, we have a huge number of hypertensive patients in this country.
The main 4 factors that can reduce vision, that can threaten your vision or make you go blind. One is diabetes, second is hypertension, third is cholesterol, and fourth is something that is sad, it is smoking.
All right.
So these are the 4 things that can make you go blind.
Okay.
And from these, cholesterol you cannot do anything about it, you are born with it. Diabetes you cannot do anything, you are born with it. Hypertension you cannot do anything, you are born with it. It is only smoking among these 4 dangerous things that we got some control about. I would actually be very happy if everybody stops smoking.
Oh yes.
At least if they don't stop smoking, at least bring it down and realize it's not good for you. One of the major reasons for people going blind from retinal occlusions, from age-related macular degeneration is smoking.
So, do you do minor surgery like the warts around the eye and the maybe even pterygium? What's your experience about those?
In Maldives, in Moldicare, we have done minor surgeries like the sty, taking out warts, taking out ingrowing lashes. All those we have already started doing. Now we need to start doing pterygiums, which I believe the management would be helping us set up the rooms. And one thing I can assure you, unless everything is pakka 100% set, we will not do any procedure. We have been waiting for 1 year. So we will start when everything is as per international standards. It has to be as per international standards.
We want to provide high quality standard to the patients here. And you've been working in your country and you're working here as well. And what about your experience in Britain? I believe from your CV I can see that you worked in Britain as well. What's your experience about that? And tell us about the wide, variety of cultural, differences. So which you came across, and that matters in your practice.
So what happened to me was I did my MBBS and MS from Trivandrum Medical College, and after that I did my fellowship from Shankara Nethralaya, that was in cataract. And then I got selected by the Royal College of Glasgow. It was actually a scholarship that was given to me for my high scores in FRCS.
Wonderful.
So they sponsored my training in glaucoma at the Royal Victoria Infirmary in Newcastle. It was a wonderful experience. As you can believe, UK is supposedly the best center that you can get training for. And after my training, I decided to come back to India, mainly work in Asia. If you look at the quality of care, whatever equipments that is there in the UK or in the US, it's available now in India, in my hospitals, it's available.
So you mentioned cataract from India and glaucoma from UK, and you do see patients here as well. So doesn't seems to be any much cultural differences. So I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, wherever people are, these illnesses exist.
It is the variety of diseases are almost same between UK, India, and Maldives, except for two things.
Yeah.
One, because of the high sunlight exposure, we get pterygiums and macular degeneration.
Yes.
And second, unfortunately, because of smoking, which I think is more than in
It's
UK or in India. Yeah. So that can cause to age-related macular degeneration, where that's a condition that causes you to go blind as you become older, and it's become difficult to treat also. Yeah. What happens when you smoke is that the blood vessels start shrinking. Okay. And the eye does not get enough blood vessel in. So it becomes weak as we smoke more and more.
So the passive smoker, someone who's standing next to a smoker,
is
can
equally
have equally
affected.
affected.
It is equally affected.
That sounds dreadful, horrible.
Yeah.
Yes. So would you like to tell us about your, unusual cases here which you have seen, like, specific to the Maldives? Like,
True.
Yeah.
Each visit I get at least one or two patients. That takes quite a lot of time because I need to talk, interact with them and explain to them that is uveitis. Toxoplasma uveitis.
Okay.
It used to be very common some 10 years back in Maldives. This is caused by the water we drink being contaminated with the cat feces.
Oh yes.
The cat litter. So now that we are using boiled water and the bottled water, it is not very common, but still we have got older people who have got this, which is a dormant thing inside the eye.
Oh, you mean to say it stays for years and years and then come back again?
It's a parasite that stays inside the eye. Yeah. It bounces back or it gets reactivated when the patient is weak, when he has fever, then it can have a recurrent attack. So that needs very, very careful, serious management to preserve vision throughout the life. But from what I have seen, what are facilities available both in Maldi Care and all the other eye clinics in Mali, they are giving very good care to the patients in Mali.
Great. So I'm happy to hear that.
I'm seeing a lot of lot of clinics, lot of doctors are giving very excellent care, and the level of care is nothing to be too much concerned about. Like even at Maldi Care, we are waiting for the conditions to be perfect before we start pterygium surgery. Pterygium surgery just takes 10 or 15 minutes. It's not a big deal. You just need I do it in 10-15 minutes and the recurrence rate is very low. But still we are waiting for everything to be perfect. That is the instruction I got from the management. Everything has to be perfect before we do any procedure.
Do you have any general suggestions you can give on TV right now to the whole public?
This is a message from my heart as an ophthalmologist. We must take care of our vision while we have it.
Yes.
We should never wait for the vision to fade before seeking help from an ophthalmologist. Because if the vision starts deteriorating, then it might be too late to save the vision.
Okay.
So if you have got good vision now, see the ophthalmologist, make sure everything is fine, and next checkup, if you are more than 40, do it after 3 years. If you are more than 60, do it after 1 year.
It's like a preventive measure.
You have a small car, you have a small scooter, you have a cycle, you change it, you change the oil, you put in petrol, you put in air.
Great.
Your eye is far more precious than your car. So please get them checked once a year.
Okay. Anything else you would like to say?
And secondly, for diabetes. Diabetes is one of the leading causes for blindness among people. So if you are diabetic, the first checkup has to be done for your eye at the time of diagnosis, and then even if you have good vision, check yearly. Very effective treatments are available for diabetes, diabetic retinopathy in Mali, which is laser, and the second is intravitreal injection. That's injections going into the eye. At Maldi Care, we will be starting intravitreal injections shortly.
True.
That will be starting so almost all the treatments are available. Excellent doctors are available in Mali. That problem is not there. The problem is that people wait till they lose vision before they approach the doctor. That is the biggest challenge.
Okay.
And if you have time, I would just like to add one more thing. This is a question that I get from all the parents.
Okay.
I don't think the parents are not going to like my answer too much. The question is, should children watch TV?
Oh, yeah.
So straightforward answer based on scientific facts.
Yes.
Watching TV is not bad for children. They can watch maybe for half an hour, take a break, and maybe for another half an hour after that.
Yes.
Watching TV is good for them because they can learn a lot, both about like Animal Planet and also about what happens in society, or programs like this where we give health awareness. So watching TV per se is not bad.
Okay.
Watching TV for hours on end is bad.
Yeah.
So you see for 10-20 minutes, take a break, go home, study, go out and play, then come back and watch TV.
So it's evidence-based, it's a scientific fact.
This is scientific fact.
Yeah.
And one more confounding thing that usually comes is the parent comes and tells me, my child always sits close to the TV and watch. They don't stay far away. The most likely reason for this is that the child is myopic, and only if he goes near the TV he is able to see.
Okay.
So that is why he is watching it from close. So you go to an eye doctor, get his eye checked. If he has got glasses, make him wear the glasses.
So if he would have been screened from early age, like from birth, it would have been
avoided. And there is one hidden danger also in this.
Yes.
And that is called lazy eye or amblyopia.
Okay.
Lazy eye is when the clear images from the eye do not reach the brain. The brain does not develop to its full potential. And then even if you wear glasses as an adult, you still cannot see very well.
So you have a genetic potential of full...
I'll say it in a very simpler way. When a child is growing, you don't give him nutritious food. What happens? He becomes stunted. He does not become big or intelligent. So if a child does not take good nutritious food, the child development is retarded. Just like that, for a child with glasses, if he does not wear glasses, clear image will not reach the brain. And if clear image does not reach the brain, just like the body will not grow, the brain will not grow. And if at that critical age, the critical age is between 5 years to 8 years. If at that critical age the child does not wear glasses full time, he will not be able to see 100% when he is bigger. So that is one tricky thing that each parent needs to know. If your child has been prescribed glasses, please make sure that they wear glasses throughout, at least till they are around 10 years of age. That is when they are growing. So that is, I think, one very important message that I would like to impart via Raja TV.
Alright.
Then we got first the Lebanon Maruna Sama me that in Suwala. We see that very commonly that now as a fashion, even some people are using contact lenses without any suggestion from the doctor. So what do you think? Is it what would you like to advise for people?
Is it all right to wear contact lens without a
contact lenses are relatively safe. It is relatively safe if under supervision you have got you have been properly educated on how to use it. But if you don't use it in the right way, or if you sleep with it, or if some small foreign particle comes into the contact lens, you can even lose your eye or your sight, and you can get permanently disfigured.
I see the fancy ones, the ones with color and they without a doctor's opinion, they can buy and they can wear it for fancy reasons, like for fashion or whatever you call it. So is that advisable?
See,
is it okay?
I understand the question. The thing is that if you use a contact lens off-label without a doctor's prescription, given a normal average child, maybe for 80-85% of people nothing bad will happen. But for another 15%, it can create trouble. And when I mean trouble, you can even lose your eye or your
science,
vision.
15% is huge.
It is huge. So would you want to take such a huge risk just to look good? So I would suggest you go to a nice ophthalmologist, get a suggestion, and then do it. You are playing with your vision, you are playing with your future.
True. Any other questions?
No, it's just okay. So we got a lot of information. Then itura me varfa korave ituru එහෙන් හිදමත් දවස මේ මෝල්ඩි කෑන් දෙබේක දැන් කොංකොං හිදමත් අගෙතෝ ඉතුර මේ මෝල්ඩි කෑන් දෙමෙන්